Hello guys, going to be going over the MLB PrizePicks slate for Tuesday, June 14th. So we have 16 games today. Got a doubleheader for the Pirates and the Cardinals. But the other games are all going to start in the afternoon or night, depending if you're on the East Coast. So for first inning run props, got one right now that I'm looking at. We do have a Coors series starting up. So going to be going to this one, Guardians and Rockies for the over. I just look to the over for Coors Field games pretty much every time that they're available. Now, I'm not going to lock this one because Shane Bieber is going to be pitching for the Guardians, but he hasn't really been that great this year. He's had, I think it's 3 good starts now in a row, but you look at his opponents, he's had a really easy schedule. Game logs, KC, Cincinnati, at Cincinnati though, but then like some of these matchups, the A's, Twins, Tigers again, Baltimore, Rangers. This game was it started raining, so he had to leave early. So basically, he's had some good starts here, but really his stuff is not the same. He's throwing his fastball just at such low velocity now. Like it's still able to hit 90, but when you're losing, so many ticks on that fastball, you're gonna get hit. And Coors Field is not a good place to be hit at. Like Coors Field, the weather today, the wind's actually blowing in, but there's no amount of wind unless it's like 30 miles that will compensate for how great of a ballpark Coors Field is. So 86 degrees, very warm, and then the Guardians 6.2 run total. That tells you, or the Rockies rather, 5 run total, still a very solid one. It's just a very good spot for both of these teams anytime you're playing Coors. And, this is just going to be probably a prop that I target pretty much every time the Rockies are playing here. So get ready for yes runs first inning props pretty much all week if they are available. And then there's one that I'm keeping an eye on. So it's the same situation as Monday. The Cubs, Padres, not making this an official play. I will update if I do make it one, but this will be a yes run first inning, the over, if the winds do indeed blow out. The winds were supposed to blow out straight to center on Monday, but then all of a sudden there was a tornado warning and there was a giant storm. The field had to be evacuated and all sorts of craziness. So I don't know what's going to happen. Wrigley Field, it's wild, I guess, but 13-mile winds blowing out is what it says right now. 90-degree weather, precipitation's at 0, humidity 58. Yeah, took a look on another source weather, like the game's going to be starting between here. Double-digit winds, says it's going to be blowing out. It's warm today. Like, if these winds do hold up, then yeah, I'm going to like the over quite a bit. You got Sean Manaea, who's a good pitcher, but nothing that's elite. And then you have Kyle Hendricks, who's just a contact guy. And contact pitchers in good hitting weather, that is a recipe for disaster for the pitcher. So, gonna really like this prop. Also, all of those hitter fantasy props, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, just all depends on the weather here. So we could possibly have a lot of locks from this game if the weather cooperates for us. Now on to pitching fantasy score. I got 2. First one is going to be Adrian Hauser, 26.5. Taking the under for Hauser. He has some pretty significant home road splits. He's really good at home, but you look at his splits, and this has been pretty much his career story. Home, 2.94 ERA, away 5.32. Now, ERA isn't the best measurement, but you look at all these other numbers, like, it's just not good when he's pitching away. And I mean, the game log, you can take a look at all these different opponents. Like Baltimore's not, a very good offense. Bad start when he was away. When he's at home against the Cardinals, he had a good start. But you just look at the away games, like it's kind of crazy how well he does at home and then how poorly he does on the road. And in this game, it is going to be on the road. 81 degrees, 4 miles blowing out for the win. Chris Bassett on the other side. So it should be tough for him to get a win. And then this Mets lineup, they're just really good this year. A phenomenal offensive team. They got a good pitching staff. And WRC plus against righties for the Mets, they rank second, barely behind the Yankees. For the other New York team, the Mets here, 120 WRC plus, very strong. They K at a really low rate, second lowest K rate. Hauser, he's not a K guy, 24 percentile, doesn't get it, a lot of swings and misses. So this just seems like a troubling spot for Hauser, and I'm pretty confident that this is going to be an under. But I do like another one for a fantasy score that's an under, so I might end up locking Hauser, but I know he's going to get adjusted, so I need to get this play out to you guys. But yeah, if this prop somehow doesn't move, might be a lock for me tomorrow. Just kind of want to see the lineups because, I've liked to give you guys locks the night before, but sometimes like with these lineups, you just never know. Sometimes things happen, like today with the Cubs game, that was kind of crazy. So I don't want to just say lock and then the next day, something crazy happens. Chris Bubich, though, is going to be the lock for me because we kind of know what the Giants are going to do. They do the same thing every time. They will stack all the platoon advantage that they have. And that's going to mean everyone from Austin Slater to Darren Ruff, all those righties are going to be in this lineup against lefties. They're going to sit Jock Peterson, Tommy LaStella. They will platoon anytime they get. And that means Bubich is going to have to face a ton of righties. And 5.4 run total. The winds are blowing out, but San Fran, the winds do not matter. They built the ballpark to pretty much eliminate the effect there. But Bubich, she's not good. Quickly pulling up his numbers. Just take a glance. It is all blue, and not just blue, but 1 percentile blue for a ton of categories. Like, this guy is bad. And 9.13 ERA, that's actually what it's supposed to be pretty much. Expected numbers are horrible, all bottom 1% of the league pretty much. So again, just attacking this guy. He's going to drop down to 18.5, probably even lower. Don't remember actually a prop being under 18.5, but this might be it. So if Bubich somehow gets over 21.5, fine. But I think this is my favorite prop of the day. So going to take the under on this. Going to be a lock. And then I have a pitches thrown. I just want to talk about this because I tweeted this a week or two ago. Where is Tyler Mahle? 103.5 pitches thrown. I'm taking the under on this one. Not a lock because pitches thrown are just kind of volatile. But he will go under this number. But it all just depends on how many pitches he has when he ends an inning. Like last time he had 88, but he just had a 17 pitch inning in the sixth. So that allowed him to get over this. He finished with 105. So even if he stepped out in the sixth to finish that game and he didn't get those extra 2 pitches, that's an under. And if you get Mahle at, let's say, above 95 pitches finished off an inning, he's probably not coming out again. So that's why I think the under definitely makes a lot of sense. Arizona, not the best offensive team, but it's just how it works with pitch counts. So that's why I kind of lean towards the under here. It's just a really high amount. And then going to go back to Coors Field with hitting fantasy score with Jose Ramirez at 8.5. The Guardians are taking on Antonio Senzatella, and I will pull up Senzatella's numbers. He is a contact pitcher. He doesn't strike anyone out, but also he does not walk guys. So we currently don't have a total base prop for Ramirez. We might get one, but I think that's probably going to be too juiced, so we're not going to. But expected ERA is over 2 runs higher, 4.8% walk rate. So that's why I think if total base props come out, which I do have a lock for the Guardians side, I like it because you just eliminate the chance for a walk, so you do get like an extra chance for him to swing the bat. But Senzatella, just a contact guy, that's not going to be getting Coors. He's been awful this year. Should continue to be awful. 6.2 run total here. So, going to like Jose Ramirez. He also has speed. So, if he gets on, he can definitely steal, get you those extra fantasy points that way. And then, going to mix these guys. Just going to talk about them together with the total bases and hits and walks. So, those are going to be from Boston and Xander Bogaerts and JD Martinez. If you want to take Devers, that's fine, but I want the platoon advantage of Bogaerts and Martinez. Both 7.5. I think these probably should be 8 or 8.5. Like Oakland, they're pitching, because his last name's Lug. what is Jared, or not Luke, I mixed it up with someone else. I forgot what team, but Jared Koenig. 7 mile per wind's blowing out, 76 degrees. I always talk about weather, but it really does matter in a game like baseball. 5.8 run total, very good for the Red Sox, and they're back at home. Very good ballpark, significantly better than if this was in Oakland. Kike Hernandez, the Red Sox are dealing with some injuries, but I like Martinez, I like Bogarts. Koenig, a young pitcher, he will walk guys. You're going to see control issues with young guys all the time. So if it makes you feel like maybe it's better for a hits and walks prop, because I know Bogarts is available, but JD Martinez is not for hits and walks. Bogarts, take the over on this one instead. Total bases, all of these Red Sox are. So if you want, I would say Devers, you take the total bases because he doesn't steal, and you're probably going to need total bases to hit if he's going to hit over 8.5. But for 7.5, I think Bogarts and Martinez, the way that they walk, RBI chances, batting in the middle of the order, it makes sense if you want to take the fantasy score more. So that's how I kind of approach it. Probably Xander Bogaerts is my favorite fantasy score prop, and also just because he has a prop for every single category. And then now let's get to the lock. So total bases, actually, go right back to it. Josh Naylor is that lock from the Guardians side, 1.5. Someone who does not strike out, facing a pitcher who does not strike anyone out. And Josh Naylor, he's a former top pick. He's a really good power bat. And power bats in Coors are obviously going to be a good spot. He's very slow, but it's Coors Field. We don't care about that. He's the away team. He's probably going to get at least 4 at-bats, maybe 5. And just a ton of great hitting numbers. His average shows that he's due for some more positive regression for his batting average. So more hits, even if it's a single, those will stack up in Coors. So really like this prop. And then runs and RBIs. Starlin Marte, the only one for today. We might get some more added because it kind of looks thin. But Marte, you can't play this with Hauser's under. But it's because I don't like Hauser. I think he's going to be in for a rough start. Then I'm going to like the Mets. And the one Mets guy is Marte here. The Mets have a 4.5 run total. Yeah. And the weather's pretty nice. Marte's back from injury. Pete Alonso as well. So this Mets lineup is going to be pretty much at full strength. And Marte hitting second. He has Nimmo, who's a tremendous guy who gets on base. Lindor, Alonso, just, the caliber of bats that they are. It's going to make things easy for Marte to score. Marte, phenomenal speed. He can steal, get in the scoring position. So all of that's going to look really good for a runs and RBI prop. He's also been hitting pretty well. Came back from injury, and he had a good game. He looked fine. So that's why I do trust it. But overall right now, locks I'm looking at, it's going to be Boo, which is under for fantasy score, and then Josh Naylor over total bases. 2 locks right now, but there definitely could be a lot more depending on the weather for the Cubs and Padres game. So that's going to be for the video, guys. And thank you guys for watching. Good luck on the slate, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.